Dear students, welcome to this lecture on textile testing. And in this lecture, I am going to discuss fabric comfort properties. Here I will discuss what is the meaning of the word comfort, type of comfort, and uh, what is the meaning of the term air permeability, how to measure the air permeability, a brief description of the equipment that is used for measuring the air permeability, and the factors which affect the air permeability of a fabric. So let us start. What is the meaning of the term comfort? See, comfort is very difficult to define. So all of us every now and then using this term comfort. Now it is uh, Dr. Lee in the year 2001 he defined comfort precisely as it is the freedom from pain and from discomfort. And human perception of the comfort is an interaction between physical, physiological, and psychological factors with the surrounding environment when wearing a garment. That means when I will consider the overall comfort properties, there are three aspects are there. The first one is the physiological, second one is the physical, and third one is the psychological. Okay, so let us discuss one by one these three components of the comfort properties of a fabric. Now, psychological comfort, it is determined by design, fit, appearance, and other aesthetic parameters. It is difficult to measure it in objective manner as it is may vary from person to person, and even for a particular person, it may vary from type to type. That means what I mean to say here is that the psychological comfort is purely subjective. It is very difficult to measure and express it in objective type. Now, why it is so? Because not only it varies from person to person, but even for a particular person, it may vary from time to time, place to place, etc. But this type of comfort is really governed by the factors like design of the fabric, fit of the garment, appearance, and other aesthetic parameters. Now, this psychological comfort property we will not discuss in depth. Our area of concern is physical comfort and physiological comfort. So let us see what is the meaning of the word physical comfort. The physical comfort is skin sensorial wear which concern the mechanical contact of the fabric with the skin, its softness, pliability, movement, and its lack of prickle, irritation, pain when it is damp. So this is basically mainly connected with certain factors like softness, pliability, or you can say sensation like prickle, irritation, static charge generation. So these are the factors which affect the sensorial comfort or physical comfort. And third one is a thermophysiological wear comfort. And this is the most important. And uh, uh, in the coming 3 or 4 lectures, I will concentrate mainly on thermophysiological comfort properties. Now, these thermophysiological comfort properties concern the heat and the moisture transport properties of the clothing and the way the clothing help to maintain the heat balance of the body during the various levels of activity. Body comfort can be achieved if the skin is kept in a dry condition and the body temperature is constant. So when I will discuss the thermophysiological comfort property, there are 2 points are important. One is moisture transport properties and other one is the heat balance of the fabric. And these two things are very much interrelated. And right now, there are different factors which affect the physiological comfort property. So our area of discussion is basically the thermophysiological comfort property and physical and skin sensorial comfort property. Now, psychological comfort property we are not going to discuss, as I've already told you earlier that it is very difficult to measured in an objective manner. So let us see what are the factors which affect the thermophysiological comfort property. The first one is the air permeability. Second one is the moisture vapor permeability. Third one is the wetting properties, the total absorbency power, wetting, and the thermal properties. So these are the factors which affect the thermophysiological comfort property, right? And all of these factors collectively responsible for determining the thermophysiological comfort properties, and we will study how to measure each of these parameters and what is their importance in determining the thermophysiological comfort properties. Now, next is the physical and skin sensorial comfort properties. Here, the important factor is the bending and the shear rigidity. I have already discussed the bending rigidity and shear rigidity that we will discuss when I will discuss the first, and the sensation of prickle and irritation. It depends on the texture of the fabric as well as the hairiness of the fabric, and as well as what sort of fibers that they are used in the fabric. Here I will discuss the term air permeability in this lecture. Here I will discuss the meaning of the term air permeability, the importance of air permeability, how to measure air permeability, a brief description of the instrument that is used in measuring the air permeability, and last I will discuss what are the factors which affect the air permeability, right? So let us see. Uh, Definition: the air permeability of a fabric is a measure of how easily air can pass through it under a given pressure difference. Higher the volume of air passed through it, higher is the air permeability. Now remember one thing, the most important thing is that we have to measure what is the amount of air that is coming through the fabric, and when we will measure the volume of air that is coming through the fabric, we have to measure the volume under a given pressure difference, because we know higher the difference of pressure, more will be the volume of air that will be flow. That means when we will measure the air permeability, three things needs to be always mentioned. The first one is what is the pressure difference. Second thing is what is the duration of the time, and third one is what is the area through which air is flowing. So air permeability is expressed at the volume of air in the cubic centimeter, which is passed in 1 second through 1 square centimeter of the fabric at a pressure difference of 10 millimeter water column. So pressure difference here, it is measured in terms of 10 millimeter water column. That means difference of the pressure will be equivalent to the pressure exerted by 10 millimeter water column. Right now, this you can understand easily why there is a need for to mention the pressure difference, because air permeability will always depends upon the pressure difference. Higher the pressure difference, more will be the air permeability. That's why it is needed to mention exactly what is the pressure difference. Okay, and as per the standard here, the pressure difference is concerned is considered to be 10 millimeter water. Now, what is the importance of the air permeability? Higher value of the air permeability is desirable in the warm weather, but in the cold climate, the fabric with low air permeability is desirable, as the flow of air through fabric reduces thermal insulation caused by the enclosed steel air. Now, when in the summer, there is air permeability should be very good, because this higher air permeability will help in keeping our body cool. But at the same time, in the cold climate, air permeability should not be very high in the garment, because in fact, when we wear the fabric, it is not the fiber which is responsible for providing the thermal insulation property. Rather, it is the air which is enclosed. Rather, it is the steel air which is enclosed in the fiber. Now, if the air permeability is high, then what will happen? The envelope of the steel air will be broken. Now, as a result, insulation property will be broken. Okay, so that's why the air permeability should not be high for a winter garment, because if the air permeability is very high, then the insulation layer created by the still air will be disrupted completely. Now, apart from this garment, air permeability is also important for other uses like industrial filters, tents, raincoat material, etc. Now, let us have a look on the schematic diagram of air permeability testing equipment. So, this is the schematic diagram of an air permeability testing equipment. See, this is the jaws and the specimen. This is the specimen, and the specimen is mounted between these two jaws, and there is this sealing which will prevent the leakage of air. So this is very important. We have to ensure that there is no leakage of air at the time of testing. Now, air is drawn through this sample, and the pressure difference should be 10 millimeter, and this pressure difference can be measured from this manometer. We have to adjust the valve so that the pressure difference is equivalent to 10 millimeter water column, and thereafter we have to measure what is the volume of air that is flowing, that is coming through this specimen. This is the fabric specimen, and what is the volume that is passing through this fabric, that we can measure by means of this rotameter. This is known as the rotameter, and this is known as the float. So the air will pass through this fabric, and it will cause the float. This is known as the float. This will cause the float to move upwards. Okay. Now from this scale, we can easily measure what is the volume of air that is flowing. So let us see the brief description. The system consists of an arrangement for holding the test specimen between the two flat grips faces so as to expose the known area to flow of air through it. As I've already told you, so this is the test specimen, and this specimen is gripped between these two flaps. Next, the grips are lined with a rubber gasket to avoid the air leakage. Why the rubber gasket is required? Because I have told you the utmost precaution is to be taken while carrying out this instrument so that there is no leakage of air, right? And this grips can be tightened by means of a hand operated screw mechanism. Next, it consists of two major components. One is measuring the volume of airflow flowing through the test specimen. That is the mechanism, as I've already told you, through which we can measure the flow of air. And another one is to measure the pressure drop between the faces of the test specimen. So here, this is the two faces of the specimen. This is the upper surface and the lower, and we have to maintain a pressure difference of 10 millimeter water column. Okay, so from this level we can measure. This level should be 10 millimeter water column. This height difference, this new tube should be 10 millimeter. Okay, and under this pressure, the air will be drawn to the fabric specimen. The vacuum pressure is measured by the digital manometer or the manometer tube in the terms of the millimeter of water level, as I've already told you. This is the 10 millimeter, and the airflow is measured by the rotameter attached with the instrument. This is the rotameter or floats, you can say. These floats will move up and down depending upon the flow of air. Okay, if the flow of air is very high, then the height achieved by this floats will be higher. Now let us see the procedure. The 5 specimens are required with a test area of 508 square millimeter. So usually it is recommended to determine the air permeability on the basis of mean of 5 specimens. But sometimes when it is more accuracy is required or the fabric is very uneven, it is better to take 10 samples. Now the specimen is clamped over the air inlet using the rubber gasket that I have already told you. There should be 2 horizontal clamp, and the specimen should be tightly fixed onto the clamp, and rubber gasket is used so as to prevent the air leakage. The air valve is adjusted to give a pressure drop across the fabric of 10 cm water head. The air pressure is measured with a flow meter. The air flow in cc per second per square centimeter is calculated from the results in the test. So this is the equipment that I've already discussed. Now let us see what are the factors which affect the air permeability. As usual, we have discussed the effect of fibers, we will discuss the effect of yarn, we will discuss the effect of fabric construction, and next we will discuss the effect of finishes. The first one, let us see what is the effect of fibers. The yarn cross-sectional area decreases with the increase in the polyester content in the yarn, because the polyester can be packed more closely than the cotton. Now let us consider the two yarn. In one yarn, the percentage of polyester is more. Now the polyester can be packed very closely than the cotton. So as a result, what will happen? The yarn will be more compact, and as a result, what will happen? The yarn permeability will be more because the yarn will occupy lesser area. Similarly, if I consider the two yarn of the same material, one is the hollow, another is the circular fibers. In this case, the yarn permeability will be different from both the cases. Now, effect of the yarn. Yarn permeability increases with the increasing twist multiplier, because if we increase the twist, then what will happen? The yarn will become more compact. The fabric, even if the rotor yarn has a lower yarn permeability, because the rotor yarn are much more bulkier than the ring spun yarn, and since the rotor yarn are bulky, they will occupy more space and prevent the flow of air through it. Okay, so that is here it is mentioned that this can be ascribed the greater flattening of the fabric made with the more compressible rotor spun yarn, which result in the lowering the porosity. The fabric made from the compact yarn exhibit larger air permeability because the compact yarn cannot be compressed. So what happens here? The more and more air can be flow through it. The most important is the effect of fabric. It is very clear, if the fabric construction is open, there are more pores. As a result, more and more air can pass through the fabric. At the same time, if the thickness of the fabric is more, then also the air permeability will be reduced. So air permeability of the plain weave, because of its maximum intersection per unit area and the shorter flow, is less than that of twill and the satin wave fabrics. The difference in the air permeability of the various fabric is mainly due to the difference in the fabric cover. That means fabric cover means the portion of the fabric or the volume of the portion of the fabric that is covered with the fibers. So higher the cover factor, less will be the area available for the air to pass through it. Now next is, and this also I have told you, the thicker the fabric, less is the air permeability. Now next is the effect of finishing. There are two types of chemical finish I will consider. One is the effect of anti-crease resin and the effect of softener, because these two are the finishing agents are commonly used in giving the finishing of the fabric. So not only these two type of finish, any sort of finish which is causing the layering onto the fabric will reduce the permeability of the fabric. So let us see. The air permeability is negatively increased by softener and the anti-crease resin irrespective of the concentration of the resin. So that means whatever is the concentration of resin, whatever is the type of the finish, the air permeability will be always negatively influenced. So this the same thing is applicable in the case of the softener also, because softener will also cause a microfilm over the fiber as well as the yarn, and this will also prevent the flow of air through it. So that is all about the air permeability. Here I have discussed the one of the important fabric property which affect the comfort of the fabric, that is known as the air permeability. And whether the air permeability will be high or low, that depends on the type of garments. If it is the summer garment, the air permeability should be high, and if it is winter, then the air permeability should be low. Because if the air permeability is more, the insulation created by the still air will be disrupted because of the flow. Okay, so that's why in the winter garment, air permeability should be as low as possible. Okay, now as far as the measurement of the air permeability is concerned, we have to measure the amount of air that is flowing through the fabric per unit area, per unit time, and under a given pressure difference. Right? And thereafter we have discussed the instrument that is used for the fabric air permeability tester. There are three components. One is the flow meter, by means of which we can measure the flow of air. Second one is the manometer, by means of which we can create a desirable pressure difference in the two faces of the fabric. And third one is the clamp on which the fabric assembly should be mounted. Okay, so this is all about the fabric air permeability. And in the next class, I will discuss the moisture vapor permeability, and moisture vapor permeability also will discuss what is its importance and how to measure the moisture vapor permeability and the factors which affect the moisture vapor permeability of a. Okay, yes.